Guys, Gavin just showed me how we can use Fiverr to get on high profile article sites for our SEO, our Google Knowledge Panel, and the verification. What's the deal?
Welcome to the Coach U Show, where we learn directly from Dennis Yu and special guests.
Hey, everybody. Today, we have a special edition of the Coach U Show because we're going to talk about the secrets of the PR industry for entrepreneurs from a real PR pro. Gavin Lira has spent over $50,000 learning how to do this stuff, and he's shown me some stuff over the last few days that even had me going, wow. So we're recording this for you, but really for me, because I want to learn from Gavin. And some of the stuff he's told me is stuff that probably could get him in trouble.
Yeah,
And
there's a good amount of that I've never
you
shared
might make some
before.
enemies.
Well,
Might expose some PR agencies to do this for
Yeah.
entrepreneurs.
I'll be very transparent here. This conversation, what you're watching right now, started as a conversation between Dennis and I, which was me wanting to show him the behind the scenes of a lot of the shit I do. And he's like, what if we made a mini course? And here we are actually doing that so we can share with everybody. These are the conversations that happen behind the scenes that most people will never get access to. So this isn't just your free training where there's no value. Actually tune in on this. I spent a lot of fucking time making all this, and I'm just excited to share with everybody.
And we were able to encourage Gavin to share this stuff because, a lot of people say, I don't want to share my secrets because then people won't hire me or other people will hate me, or other entrepreneurs will say, wait, you really got that thing for $200 that someone else charged me $5,000 for? Now I'm mad. So I hope you guys enjoy this episode. I'm excited to see what Gavin has.
So the first thing I want to hit on here is really, how do we get these press placements, right? Is the biggest thing here. It's like, okay, awesome. How do you get into Forbes? How do you get in Entrepreneur? How do you get in Yale, right? How do you get in these huge publications? And also, how do you get a Google Knowledge Panel, right? That's something that, when you look up, if you're not familiar with that, just really quick, it's, when you look up Bill Gates, it's this thing that says his height, his weight, when he was born, the company he founded, just the information about that. How do you get one of those for yourself? Because how many people do you know that have one of those? Ask yourself, right? If you're Dennis, you might know a lot, but typically that's something that's really hard to get because most people don't know how to do it. So we're going to show how to do all this, how to get a Google Knowledge Panel and at least 8 press features for under $2,000, which just let you know, if you're going to pay a PR firm for this is easily a 5-figure cost for everything, easily. So basically, just diving into things then, I'm going to share my screen. We're here on Fiverr. And what I want to show you is some of the best publications that you can get into that will rank well for your name. Because we'll go into the strategy later and how you can squeeze the most juice out of your press. But I want to show you the really some juicy stuff to get this started here. So we'll show you the best stuff to rank for your name and your business's name for when your customers, clients, prospects are looking you up. And there's plenty of ways to leverage this. Like I said, we'll dive into it later. And we're just going to dive straight into that. So first off, probably wouldn't expect this to be on Fiverr. I know, Dennis, don't you have ownership of Fiverr or a put? Okay. So maybe Dennis hypothetically is a partner in, some company that might be this one or a different one. But basically, Dennis didn't know this. And, with all the connections and everything, and I'm telling you, most PR firms actually don't even know this either. And they just white label through somebody else. So basically going into this, let me show you this too. Let me look up my press for you. And then I'll show you some of the exact ways I got this. I'll show you some of our team members' press too. As you can see, there's my Google Knowledge Panel on the side there too. We're decking that out still, but you see Thrive Global and stuff, Gabe, make use of Forbes. Unfortunately, Forbes isn't on Fiverr, but I'll show you how to get that. Times Union, there's a lot of different ones that qualify me. A lot of those are actually verification related stuff. There's Net Newsletter. We'll start there because that's one that's available on Fiverr. And it's one that typically ranks really well when we have clients and their goal is to get, just their first page of Google looking awesome. Prospects are looking them up because as you guys know, if you're sending emails or, running Facebook ads and your traffic magically increases to your site, and it's assuming the Facebook ad is still a lead form and not directly to your site, it's not because it's a coincidence. It's because the people are looking you up because they don't trust you and they want to learn more about you so they can trust you.
They're Googling you. So you want to control the results.
Exactly. And that's what PR is. It's, how you basically control your public image. So basically with that being said, let's start with Net Newsletter, right? So let's say that I want to get on Net Newsletter. Let's not make this too complicated, guys. Net Newsletter. And this is something that easily a fair price for this is $1,200 to just let you know, this one publication. So check this out. This girl right here, worked with her multiple times. Let's see here. Yeah, this is going to be the best one to click on. So you can see that there's multiple here, but what I like to look at when I see this, And I'm doing this too, guys, so you guys can see how I find this. Instead of just telling you all the people to hit up, I want to teach you how to fish instead of just giving you all, the fish. You click on this, and then as you can see, it says all news buzz, and you can contact the seller for all the exact direct links. Sometimes they have the direct links down here in the description too. They like the .com. You want to do that because you don't want to be surprised. Like, oh, I thought I was getting this, but it was actually some .net I've never heard of or whatever. This publication, it sucks. Don't even think about it. Newsletter is awesome. Let me show you what this actually looks like too. So that way you guys can kind of compare apples to apples for this first example, at least. So podcasting with a purpose, how Gavin Lira uses podcast to bolster relationship capital, obtain dream clients for the empathy firm. Really like true strategy, something I've done before. You can see there's an image included as well. And this is usually, I have a lot of press. This is a second page ranking. This is, I promise you, if your name, actually one thing I want to say too is if your name is Spencer Smith, rebrand yourself. What's your middle initial? Throw it in there. Because otherwise you're going against so much uphill battle to rank for Spencer Smith. I know a friend, his name is actually Spencer Smith, and he goes by Spencer X Smith. And he crushes it for SEO on that, way less competitive, right? So just a good rule of thumb for your branding on social media too. But yeah, Gavin Lira is, not that competitive. So I was easy. Basically, if you have a name that's a little more unique, this will land you on the first page, as long as you have your name in the title, which we'll get into later. But yeah, so here is the press article, and literally all you would have to do is hit continue for $60, place the order, and then you give them the article that you want to be published. We'll go into a different segment of this training, how you write the articles, because that's actually like a very important part of this that is not as easy as it may seem. So, but yeah, there's that newsletter. Now you have a feature and it tells you in 3-day submission, it goes live and you're ranking on the first page for your name or your company's name. Just like that for $60. Awesome. And it's a one-time thing. You're focusing on permanence now as a business owner, which is a very important thing to do because we get stuck in the day-to-day doing one thing times over and over again. This is something that has been on Google ever since I got it out, and it's going to stay on Google, and I get passionate about this stuff because this is what I do. We've seen how much this has helped people. You can also see influencer here, $100. I'll actually show you different. The cool thing is on Fiverr, you can easily compare prices and you can find the best person who can actually deliver on the service as well, which I will show you because we actually don't go through influencers here. We get it for 80, and the person we work with is amazing. You guys are going to get to see who it is too, and you can see the exact people that have done this. So
you know how much I get influencers for?
0. Yeah.
Because I'm an author.
yeah. Or if you're like Dennis, you can just, go speak on CNN and become an author. And just go build a search engine called Yahoo and, American Airlines, all that good stuff. So that's, I'm literally just going to show you the exact press that would lead you to a Google Knowledge Panel too. And you can mix match this. And yeah, I'll show you some exact press and I'll explain a little later on what you're looking. Actually, no, I'll do it now. For Google Knowledge Panel, what you need is pretty much 6 to 8. Let's use 8 conservative here. Publications where your name is in the title, the full feature on you, and at least 80% of it is pretty much about you. Meaning like, you don't want it to be like, hey, it's Gavin Lira, and then it's all about like what the business does. It's like, okay, what's your story? How did make your philosophies that are now used in the business, about sort of like that, which we'll dive more into on the writing part of things, most likely. But yeah, so you need 6 to 10, even to qualify to get a Google Knowledge Panel. And then after you do qualify for that, I'll show you guys how you can get it for only $360. And like I said, all of this with press and everything is going to be less than 2K. Incredible. And again, this is permanence that you're focusing on here. So yeah, so next publication I have up that I want to show you guys is, so we just did that. Let me show you Influensive now. Okay. So as you can see, there's multiple sellers. You see this guy, sells it for 80. And I always like to see the reviews. And sometimes you click on it and they're like, writing is $80, but writing and distribution is 120, right? So it's like, really, it's 120, even though it says 80 here. I'll just let you know, I click on these people. I typically also copy and paste a message to send to all of them. So it'll be something like, hey, I'm looking to get X client on, like, would you be able to get this person featured? Or for you, that would be your press, right? Your articles that you'd be sending to these people just to make sure, because I could go over all the guidelines for each publication. To make it simple, just ask the people who are actually you're going to be working with, because just for time's sake, it would be, because it changes a bit from each publication. But for most entrepreneurs, you'll be good. Just write your articles from 500 to 1,000 words is the main thing. Don't have any sketchy links. Just make it something that is newsworthy too. And even though it can still just be about you and your story, that is newsworthy, but just don't, if it's super bland, they might actually have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So right here, I will publish your article with lifetime on influencer guarantee. This guy, it's always good when they have a lot of orders in the queue. They have 5-star reviews. That's always great. This dude is incredible. We've worked with him on so many different projects, influencer, and actually he's our connect. He's going to be helping us with Google Knowledge Panel.
All right.
But we'll get into that later, because once you work with one person too, what you can do, like let's say you were to place this for influencer, right? You go through, pay your $80. It goes live in about 10 days. Now what you do is you click on his name. Now you see all his gigs. Because chances are, if he does a good job on one gig and he has 5-star reviews, he's connected. This is what you'll find about the PR space. And this is one of the secrets that we're covering, is so many people spend so much time individually pitching to publications. Ask yourself the question, how can you work smarter? How can you find somebody whose business is literally, they connect the dots between contributors and people who they can get featured? And this is what a lot of these people do. Well, not a lot of them. I mean, there's a good amount out there, but it's not well known, which is why we're making this training. So I'm going to take a quick sip, but we're in sync.
We
You
are.
See that? It's crazy. That's awesome. So basically, look at this. Verified Google Knowledge Panel, 5-star reviews. How do you guys think I got mine? I'll give you a secret. It's right freaking there.
This guy's queue is going to blow up because you've told everyone.
I know. I should be getting like a partnership with this guy or something. But yeah, you can see Disrupt Magazine. But here's the thing, like $60 for Disrupt Magazine, I can get that for 30, 15. So like, I won't work with him on that, even though if you don't really care, whatever. I mean, but for me, if I can, for an extra minute, just spend 30 less, but I do it reoccurring with people since we have multiple clients. For you, it might not be a big deal if it's one-off, right? Crunchbase Pro. Oh, this is cool. I wasn't even going to think about this. So check this out. Okay. If I look up the empathy firm, okay, this is our business. Also, guys, you should know this already, but get this up here, get Google reviews if you don't have them. Like, I mean, we really care about our clients. So that's just one thing there. That's the matchmaker. I found that. Told you about James, but basically, look at this Crunchbase right here. You can literally claim this in less than a day for $5.
Why not just do it yourself?
Yeah, you can do it yourself too. I'm pretty sure it's like, come in here and do it. But for me, it was just $5 on Fiverr. I saw it. I filled out everything. I did it. I'm pretty sure you can go and do it for free as well.
Yeah, just make it register.
Yeah. So either way, but the cool thing is it's going to rank for your business. And one of the things about gaining trust is like, if you're looking something up, it's just as cool to see like, oh, this is a company that's actually in a database of like other legit companies. Yeah. Because now, if somebody's looking up your name on Google, they're not just trying to get to your website. They're trying to see, do they have bad reviews?
Right.
Do they have any reviews?
Right.
What's their online profile? Like, is it someone basically that I can trust is what they're looking for. And this helps build that trust. So you can pay him $5 or you can do it yourself. But yeah, you can also see other ones here. Like I've never done this one, but there's just other stuff. But my point is you can look around and find and kind of see your own things. I'm giving you ones right now though, that I know for sure rank really well. Just to let you know, the stuff I'm recommending here, I know ranks well. So, proceed with caution and anything I didn't talk about here, but press is press, especially when you find it this way, it's not going to be that expensive. So we just did influences. So, okay, now we're going to spice things up even more here. This is going to be pretty sweet. How about getting into Yale? Okay. How about getting into Cornell? So check this out. This is actually more expensive than it seems, but I'll show you here. And to be fully transparent, this is something that we just recently discovered and been testing out, but so far it's been good, but I'm just letting everyone know I always want to be transparent, but this is, and you can tell he's a reputable dude, 5-star reviews. But here's the thing, you do this, he says Harvard, just to let you know, Harvard's currently down as of recording this. It might be up at another point where they have access to that. Not the website's down, but like they can't get people featured there right now. So basically, good old Accurate Mike, what a name. Let's go to his profile, right? Oh, what's this? So
the reason you want the EDU links is that the EDU links carry a lot more power with SEO. You'll rank a lot better. So even if the domain authority is lower on a .edu, it's generally way more powerful. The best is actually .gov or .mil, but those are harder to get.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But check this out too, Dennis. Do follow Backlink as well. Now, the only thing is, just because I know this, because we got someone in place, this is the website you can expect is campuspress.yale.edu. Because this is the campus. So basically, yale.edu, they don't have like a blog where they just feature like businesses and things of the sort, but they have students who write and they have an extension of their website for the students to basically, not any student can do this, by the way. You have to be approved. And in some of these places, you even have to pay to get access to these things. And so they have talented students that are managing these things. And basically this Accurate Mike, what he does, again, working smarter instead of harder, you can put all together his pitch for Yale and all these different things. Or you could find an accurate Mike who has all these connections with college students around the world at some of the best universities and work with him and pay a small fee that'll save you so much more time compared to if you were to go and do this yourself. Yeah. So this is life. Let me go to my conversation with Accurate Mike. I'll actually, I can't remember, but Yale for some day, like he showed me an example even before we started working together. It literally ranks as the first result for a pretty competitive term because it's on freaking Yale. That EDU. So the cool thing about that too is like, how can you leverage that in your business? How can you even make if you know that there's traffic, and we can go more into this whole strategy for certain search terms, if you can use a Yale instead of your own website, which might only have a 4 domain authority, and you can use the same title as what your prospects are looking up. And then in that article, you're clearly linked back to as the person that should be the solution to whatever it is that for the problem they're having. So, okay, there's Accurate Mike. And again, all this stuff I'm showing you guys is less than $2,000 for a one-time payment. That's not $2,000 a month. It's $2,000 one time, which is why I get so excited about this, is you're literally doing something that will help you get on stages. Just there's so many things that you could leverage for this, and just how it can help your acquisition and help you close deals at a higher rate if you're leveraging it properly, which we'll hit on after this training and another training following this. But basically, so we did. I'll kind of go through some of these kind of quick because you guys will see a theme, right? Let's do NY weekly. This is, and again, the reason I'm showing you guys these ones is I want to show you the path to Google Knowledge Panel, and I want to show you what press works well too. And I like going in depth too. I feel like sometimes trainings are too high level. Like you're getting nitty gritty. Show you guys exactly what we can do here. So, okay, a lot of options. I could show you how I sift through, send stuff to people, but we'll just keep things quick. You probably, if you have a good memory, you'll notice that Gen SEO is the person who helps us with a newsletter. And guess what? Here's New York Weekly. And also you can get an SF Weekly, or you can tell the prices for those are more. For the best bang for your buck is New York Weekly. This one actually ranks really great. So yeah, there you go. There's New York Weekly. So before I continue to Dennis, because this is your first time seeing this, any questions up to this point?
Seems like the publishers would bust authors they catch selling places. I've seen that with Forbes Inc. and Entrepreneur. And even if you're on a student blog on Yale, which is on Campus Press, mass blogging service, that's on a subdomain, which is not the same power as being on the www domain Yale. So what have you noticed in terms of like real search power and real longevity? Because I've seen a lot of folks get pulled.
So I have never got pulled from one publication. And this is how I've gotten
probably because you have good articles. What gets people in trouble is obviously paid for articles that are not well written.
Yeah, that's the thing too, is you want to think about it from the perspective of actually providing value to who you're getting. So for example, when I showed you that example of my net newsletter, I was giving actually really valuable strategy in that on podcasting, and literally debatably, that's one of the reasons why Dennis and I are here. If you really trace things back to actions I took and people I met through podcasting and different things of the sort, and we've closed deals from that. And I'm sharing with people how to do that. So I mean, I think the main thing is just if you add value, because a lot of times if a contributor gets removed, they'll actually keep all the press that was previous to that. There has been situations with entrepreneurs specifically that I know some people basically got stuff removed and things in sort, but that wasn't our clients. But I've heard some stories from other people. But the way I look at this is we haven't had problems, and we've been doing this for years. So I wouldn't overthink it too much. Is I guess the answer.
I put it this way:
it's almost like a shock, right?
So what you're saying works. Seen a lot of people do it, paying for PR, whether it's through an agency or buying the placements like you see through Fiverr. But just know, technically, it's like jaywalking. It's against the editorial standards. And sometimes if you don't do it well, you'll get busted and it could hurt you.
Yes, that's true. I mean, it's we always want to play by the rules, but we bend the rules. But Dennis is technically correct. And you just want to make sure you're actually putting out good content, right? That is newsworthy, which I think I mentioned newsworthy earlier, which is something you'll kind of see as a recurring theme when it comes to writing. But and for stuff like Forbes, you're not going to find that on Fiverr. We can kind of dive into the strategy and how to do that towards the end of this. It is and it is actually more of a way to, either way, I'll get into that later. But basically, good question. Any others before continue, or comments? Or
how do you know the value of LA Weekly versus Forbes versus whatever?
So basically it's about the goal, right? If someone just wants articles that rank well, which I always recommend a mix between articles that rank well and high authority too. For us, it's Forbes will rank well, but you're not going to be mentioned as many times typically because it's really hard to get a full feature. So for us, it's really how can we mix in with the clients? One of our most common packages includes a mention in a really big publication that we'll get basically earned press for, get them placed in there. And then we'll get 4 of these smaller publications that still rank well, but come up for that. So really though, when you're looking at these and it's is LA Weekly better, SF Weekly, or New York Weekly? It's best to consult with somebody like me. I'm not saying you have to pay me. I'm just saying listen to this, because actually here's the best way. if you don't know, because otherwise you have to get the press and see how it kind of ends up ranking.
Right.
You can go and look up a Gavin Lira. You can go and look up someone else who's in the PR space and see what articles are ranking for them.
Yeah, that's a good point.
That's actually, because I asked myself, I'm like, how did I do it originally? I'm like, that's how I originally did it. And then, just tested things myself through clients and, see how features ranked. But yeah, does that answer the question, or is there like a follow up to that point too?
Well, the thing is, getting these placements is good for several reasons, like the reputation. It leads towards a knowledge panel. Maybe it's high enough for verification for various services, or maybe it helps you with lead gen, or you put it in the sequences that you have for your clients because now they'll see as seen in. But is there a master list of these so we can see kind of like the universe? Like, here's the different sites, here's what they cost. And if you're trying to go for verification, this is the group. If you're trying to go for just more speaking and you want to be better known, here's the group. If you want to just drive more leads and grow your business and be on podcasts, like I can see like there'd be these intersecting circles. I've never seen a list of this.
Yeah, I've never seen a list of that either, where it's like where everything is totally separated.
Like a big Venn diagram.
Yeah. I mean, it could be done. The main thing is for verification too, when we're talking about that and that topic. So what I'm showing you now, these ones specifically, I'll be very frank, won't qualify you for verification. What you need to do for that is you need to get publications that have over 75 domain authority, which actually a lot of these do. Typically speaking, there's some exceptions. You need to have a full feature. Okay, so you're like, okay, sounds good. Like name, be mentioned multiple times throughout the article. And it's clearly about you or a philosophy you have or whatever. And you need to have at least 8 of these. But here's the biggest one, and here's what actually disqualifies a lot of this stuff, is it needs to be stuff that other people can't easily get into. Because this stuff, a lot of people don't know it, but there still are like a smaller amount of people that do. And because of that, they'll try to get an entrepreneur verified by submitting it. So that's where it does become a bit harder, and you have to get creative about finding the publications that are like not as easy to get into. And you can kind of look up some of my press, a sense of like, okay, well, what actually did get Gavin, verified here, whatever it is. That's what I'll say on that, just because there's some things that I want to share a lot. There's some things just to keep my relationships with certain people.
You don't
want to respect. Them. But so basically there's that newsletter we went over, American Reporter. I mean, honestly, guys, I'll do these other ones quick. American Reporter. So here's one that works well for 140. I think we're trying to find someone new for this. I can't actually remember who we typically used, but basically 110, worst case scenario, if they don't fulfill on this, do what I love about Fiverr is you can go through your appeal. So you don't want to be spending all that time and arguing with the seller or, oh, give me 5 more days or whatever, after you've already done it like twice.
Right.
It's so I go based off reviews first, but like here's one that would work for 140. And that's a good publication to get into. I can find it for UBJ. I might have to put United States Business Journal. You see, boom, UBJ here, $130, right? Which is another publication actually pretty impressive to get into and ranks well. Then you also have, if we go back to Accurate Mike, let's see, I have them up here. So Boston University, Duke is currently on pause, I believe. New York University, the Washington Post. And again, this is actually on a subdomain of the Washington Post. It's something about like jobs.washingtonpost.com. I can't remember the exact domain, but similar to that. And if you hit him up, you can actually, he has even more too, like Cornell, different things of the sort. So all interesting stuff within that. And then the last one I'll share here too. And again, guys, this is not the only way to get press at all. This is a great way to, as long as you're writing newsworthy articles, get your foot in the door with a lot of these things, cover your first page of Google, etc. So yeah, look at this, $100 Good Men Project. Just, that's also another publication that ranks well. Again, back to talking about that. So now it's like, awesome, Gavin, I've gotten all this press. How do I get, my Google Knowledge Panel? So I can look freaking awesome when people look me up. And it just adds that much more credibility when someone has a Google Knowledge Panel. So let me see if I go to, I'm going to look up Google Knowledge Panel. So basically I go up to this right here, just because as you guys remember, also, whenever you see people keep coming back, always like an amazing sign. So right here, I don't exactly know how to pronounce his name, but basically, you can do this for either your personal or your business, get your Google Knowledge Panel claimed. It takes 30 days. And the requirement is, contact him before working with him and send him all your press to make sure you meet your requirements. Right. But typically you need, again, 6 to 8 publications that are about, let's say if I want my personal 6 to 8 publications about me, where about 80% or more of it is like really centered around me. My name's in the title, just publications like that. And then vice versa for business, right? Same exact things. The business's name is in the title. It's really just about the business, not about the founder. Founders maybe the 20%, the business is about the 80%.
Right.
And a structure like that. So, and then, yeah, you literally hit continue, you place the order, and he does a great job. He's really good at what he does. Yeah. So this is an amazing way to basically get your Google Knowledge Panel claimed while also just building up your Google page. And yeah, the only other thing I'll say, and this is something for you guys too.
This is key for reputation management too. So you want to protect your name because who knows, maybe something happens to you later that you're involved in a crime that wasn't really your fault or something like that. You just want to make sure that you own the first page of results for your name.
It's true. And the other thing is too, that one of our past clients, I won't use his name for this just because you'll see why, but basically he didn't actually do anything bad, but somebody else did with the same name as him. And it was ranking right on the first page. And, you know, perception becomes reality. If I look up someone's name and I might not look that into it, I might see that this person, you know, was a pedophile. Right. And it's my name and it wasn't me.
Yeah.
You know,
porn stars with the same name, all that.
Yeah. Yeah. So also think about that too when you're branding yourself. You know, if I'm Gavin Lira, there's a really notorious Gavin Lira out there. Yeah. I might become Gavin A. Lira because my middle name's Amen. Yeah. Right. So just think about creative ways to before you get into this. But right now I wanted to show you guys one other thing. There's so many things within the PR space, but this is just another really powerful one, which is abnewswire.com. And what this is good for is it's good for being able to legally leverage certain publications' logos. And I'll kind of show you in a second here. So if you go to pricing, you can get this for either $40 or you can get it for $20 a press release if you buy in 20. So if you're just doing this once for yourself, you only need this one. But otherwise, if you're going to even do this as a gift for one of your friends, like a $20 gift, you typically spend more than $20 on gifts, right? And this is something that can actually really help someone's business. Yeah. As long as they write the article, just make that clear with them. And, you know, there's honestly, if you guys want even a more in-depth version of this, I made literally a training this morning on the PR thing. Just email Trissy@empathyfirm.com.
So you like this better than PR Newswire, the other distribution services? There's a ton of distribution services.
There's so many. Yeah. This one is one of my favorites just because it gets you to market watch ABC, NBC, CBS affiliated sites. So not like CBS.com, but like, you know, or like Fox.com. It's like, you know, Fox 34, but when you're the sister company, you can legally, I'm not a lawyer here, but use that in your website.
Yeah. So if you're in CBS Oklahoma City, you could say that you were in CBS, even though Oklahoma City was the syndicate.
Yeah, of course. And you want to proceed with caution amongst any of this, right? You know, you don't want to be making outrageous claims, but you know, as seen on thing in there, something that's very commonly done. You almost kind of wonder, like, have you ever been to actually an e-commerce site and you're like, man, they've been featured in this and this. Like, I wonder how they got featured in that. Cause it like, but then you find out everyone is kind of featured in these.
So they all say that. So you wonder, is that legit or not? Right?
Exactly. And a lot of times these are actually how they're doing that. And again, if it's a Forbes or something, they're actually like either mentioned or have a full feature in Forbes or whatever it is. You can't get that on the newswire. But yeah, so basically though, just wanted to show that will get you. And you know, you can ask the support questions and I won't go too in depth on that just because, like I said, I have a training already. If you guys want it, there's literally no touch, just email Trissy. She'll send it to you. She's an amazing member of the Empathy Firm. That is the first part of this training, really kind of pulling back the cover on a lot of secrets within the PR industry that people just aren't willing to share for a lot of different reasons. But we're here to help people. We're here to grow and, you know, show people how things are actually done as well in the space.
Amen. And imagine that everything can be bought. To be bought on any kind of placement, it's just a matter of the price, you know.
That is true. Being very transparent. When I got into PR, I learned everything was for sale, like my first few months. Even getting on, you know, you can get legit on CNN like Dennis did, or you can pay someone $70,000, $50,000.
I've seen
it. Yeah. Like it's interesting because perception becomes reality. You can use these things to your advantage. Just be smart about it. Make sure you're working with credible people because you could pay $50,000 to somebody to get on CNN and what? You're going to sue someone over $50,000. It might even cost that much when everything's said and done, which clearly you still should try to take some sort. I'll get off track there. My point is know who you're working with. Make sure that you're smart about this stuff and also just about your public image because it can be really beneficial, but you just want to have a good strategy behind it all.
So guys, there it is. The insider secrets on how the PR industry works, that you can pay for placements. You can buy these things directly. These are the direct costs. This is how you do it. Gavin just showed us.
After this, we'll be diving into some of the like ways to structure the article.
That's right.
Things sort just some really quick other segments that are going to be really beneficial for you guys. So that way you have literally all the tools to do this yourself, you know, if you so choose to.
All right. So catch us in how to create the articles now that you've learned how to publish these articles. So glad you guys are here. Stay tuned.